Join Mohammed Hassan. He's the chairman of the Somali American Peace Council. He joins me now from Washington. Nice to have you on Al Jazeera, sir. Let's just talk about the fact that peace has been a very difficult ideal to actually attain in Somalia. I mean, what is happening? You've been speaking to the State Department about what could happen to Somalia in the future. Any chances of peace?
Yes, we can look into the north, the area that's called now Somaliland. If the Somalis are being allowed to do their own thing and meeting and using their traditional way, it can be resolved, this thing. But the problem that we have, of course, Somalia was being let down by us as Somalis, there's no doubt about it. But the foreign interference is actually more problem. And you can see the last incident that took the Kampala Accord, which we all in the diaspora very disliking about it because we're losing the sovereignty of the country.
In terms of, you say, foreign interference, do you want to elaborate a little bit more on that for us?
Well, because the UN now it's become a business. If you see in Nairobi, there's a lot of people making money out of Somalia, and the last Prime Minister, one of the main reasons I feel that he was being pushed out is because he was telling them, if you want to do Somali work, you have to come into Mogadishu. These people are like living in the luxury houses, in hotels, I mean, and getting money in the name of Somalia, and most of these people are not Somalis. We need Somalia if you want to help to go inside Somalia.
What do you make of the group Al-Shabaab?
And the foreign interference I'm talking about. Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you, we hear so much about the group Al-Shabaab, and yet they won't deal with, if we say, the international community, or they don't want to talk to anyone. What's your understanding of the group, and is there a way to communicate with them that would allow them, or some sort of agreement would allow all parties to bring in aid to those people that are suffering at the moment?
Anybody who refuses aid for those poor people suffering we're seeing on TV screens is wrong. We don't accept that. And I'm myself a Muslim, and Muslim doesn't condone any violence. The group, if they have good people, which we're hearing they have some of them, they allowing, like the UN is doing airlifting and all that stuff, well and fine. But whoever is denying, we disagree with them. And I'm very glad that the US government easing terrorism rules to speed up for Somali situation, for the aid. And we really have to, this is really a tragic thing. I remember when the Ethiopian situation happened in the 80s, I was still living in the US, the whole world get together and come up with a program called We Are the World. The celebrities were involved, and I hope the two Somali well-known like Kenan and Iman, which I hear they are involved, will really use their friends and get together. This really needs a world effort. So what's happening in Somalia cannot be really accepted. Any country that's having a situation like that, we are all human, we have to stand up together, and in particular I put a lot of responsibility on the shoulders of the Muslim world, although I'm very happy what I'm here in Kuwait, which I consider my second country. I used to live 4 years before I came to the US. Wonderful thing what they're doing. So anybody who's doing good, we appreciate, and Muslim or non-Muslim, because the people are starving and we need the people to be helping them.
Well, we'll see what does happen and what sort of help is generated for Somali. For the moment, Mohammed Hassan, thank you so much for joining us from Washington.